So, what kind of things are talked about in couples therapy? Well, in the first maybe session or two, the therapist is going to ask you a lot of questions. They want to understand your relationship history, your level of intimacy and trust, any strengths and any challenges you might have in your relationship. You might be asked to talk about your current and past physical and emotional well being. Any substance abuse history is important to talk about, and any parenting and work stressors, any social support networks, and they're going to talk about family of origin issues and maybe other boundary issues in the present. And they want to learn how you manage conflict in your relationship. So that's going to be a really important piece. So after asking a lot of questions and learning a lot about you and your relationship, the therapist should begin discussing a plan to help you get back on track. And this is a really important step. I believe strongly that a therapist should make it clear that they understand your problems and your concerns and that they've identified a plan to help you reach that goal. So once those goals are identified and a plan is put in place to help you reach those goals, the following sessions are going to review progress made in between sessions. And that's where a lot of the work really happens. Some therapists, again, depending on their training, are going to focus on things that have gone really well in between sessions. Other therapists will focus on what hasn't gone that great. Therapists will and should talk about family of origin issues, early childhood issues, and any current family dynamics that may be affecting your current relationship. Or they may talk about how equality in household or parenting tasks, how those tasks are divided out. Or they may talk about maybe boundaries between you and your partner and extended family, or between you and your partner and the children. People often ask what the most common issues are in a relationship. And what I see most often, and what the research has found to be the most common complaints, are things that involve some combination of broken trust, crappy communication, or a lack of validation of each other's thoughts, feelings, or perspectives. Family of origin issues, boundary issues, these are also really common. And alcohol and substance abuse plays a huge role. In almost 50% of failed relationships, alcohol plays a role. Now, a common sort of misconception is that couples therapy should involve discussions about sexual intimacy. In my work, that tends not to be the case. And that's because most of the time, problems with sexual intimacy occur because of chronic distrust or long-standing resentment. And when resentment and distrust become problems, sexual intimacy tends to become much less of a priority. And this tends to be true for women in particular. Women's bodies are different. Intimacy is much less likely to happen when resentment is at play. When these underlying problems begin to be resolved, intimacy will often become a natural desire. It should then come back.